Hello, my dear learners. How are you all? I hope you all are doing well. So, my name is Neha Sharma, and you are watching me on my YouTube channel Learn English with Neha. Today, in this video, I'm gonna share some information about passive formation in past perfect tense. So, if I talk about past perfect tense, past perfect tense is used for those actions that had been done before any action that was also done in past. It means when you find two actions in past, or there is the denotion of two actions in which first action had been done first before the second action, so you have to use past perfect tense for the first action, right? So in passive formation, you have to do the same thing, but you have to start your sentence with the object, right? For example, if I say मैंने पहले ही खाना खा लिया था, I had already eaten food, or I had already had my food, right? But if I want to make this sentence in passive formation, so I have to start the sentence with food first, right? So why? Because food is the receiver of the action here, and in passive formation we need to start our sentence with the object, right? So your sentence will be the food had been finished or had been taken by me. If you have already watched my passive formation videos, so you must be aware about this fact that in passive formation, if I am telling you subject in the structure, so here subject is not actually the doer of the action. Here the subject is the receiver of action, right? So food, the eating action is being done with food. That is why food is the object, and if we want to make sentence with passive formation, then we have to use food first. Got it? Now, what is the structure of passive formation in past perfect tense in positive sentences? So your structure is subject plus had been plus V3 plus object. Subject plus had been plus V3 plus object. Okay. For example, खाना खा लिया गया था. Food had been eaten. Food had been eaten. Okay. Let's take more examples. For example, एम्बुलेंस के आने से पहले ही पेशेंट को हॉस्पिटल ले जाया जा चुका था. द पेशेंट हैड ऑलरेडी बीन टेकन टू द हॉस्पिटल बिफोर एम्बुलेंस केम. द पेशेंट हैड ऑलरेडी बीन टेकन टू द हॉस्पिटल बिफोर एम्बुलेंस केम. उसे पहले ही बता दिया गया था. ही हैड ऑलरेडी बीन इन्फॉर्म्ड. ही हैड ऑलरेडी बीन इन्फॉर्म्ड. मेरे क्लास में पहुंचने से पहले ही चैप्टर पढ़ा दिया गया था. चैप्टर हैड ऑलरेडी बीन टॉट बिफोर आई रीच द क्लासरूम. चैप्टर हैड ऑलरेडी बीन टॉट बिफोर आई रीच द क्लासरूम. ओके. एंड इफ आई टॉक अबाउट नेगेटिव सेंटेंस, सो यू हैव टू यूज नॉट with had. So your structure is subject plus had not been plus V3 plus object. Subject plus had not been plus V3 plus object, right? पहले से ही मनी पे नहीं की गई थी. मनी had not been paid earlier. तुम्हारे पेमेंट करने से पहले ही पेमेंट नहीं की गई थी या मनी नहीं दी गई थी. मनी hadn't been paid before you paid. Money hadn't been paid before you paid. उसे पहले से ही नहीं बताया गया था. He had not been informed. He had not been informed earlier. पेशेंट को हॉस्पिटल नहीं ले जाया गया था. एम्बुलेंस के आने से पहले पेशेंट को हॉस्पिटल नहीं ले जाया गया था. पेशेंट हैड नॉट बीन टेकन टू द हॉस्पिटल बिफोर एम्बुलेंस केम. चैप्टर नहीं पढ़ाया गया था. चैप्टर hadn't been taught. Chapter hadn't been taught. And if I talk about interrogative sentences, so you need to use had at the beginning of the sentence, because we all know that for interrogative sentences we need to use helping verb at the beginning of the sentence, right? So structure is had plus subject plus been plus V3 plus subject. Had plus subject plus been plus V3 plus subject. क्या तुम्हें पहले ही बता दिया गया था? हैड यू ऑलरेडी बीन इन्फॉर्म्ड? क्या पेशेंट को पहले ही ले जाया जा चुका था? हैड पेशेंट ऑलरेडी बीन टेकन? क्या पेमेंट पहले ही कर दी गई थी? क्या पैसे पहले ही दे दिए गए थे? हैड मनी ऑलरेडी बीन पेड और हैड मनी ऑलरेडी बीन गिवन? हैड मनी ऑलरेडी बीन गिवन? क्या लेसन पहले ही पढ़ाया गया था? पहले ही पढ़ाया जा चुका था? हैड द लेसन ऑलरेडी बीन टॉट? हैड द लेसन ऑलरेडी बीन टॉट? कौन सा लेसन पढ़ाया गया था? विच लेसन हैड ऑलरेडी बीन टॉट बिफोर आई केम? मेरे आने से पहले कौन सा लेसन पढ़ाया गया था? मेरे आने से पहले कौन सी मूवी देखी जा चुकी थी? विच मूवी हैड ऑलरेडी बीन वॉच्ड बिफोर आई केम? क्या किया गया था? What had been done? What had been done? Okay? किसको बताया गया था? Who had been informed? किसको बताया गया था? Who had been informed? Right? And if I talk about negative interrogative sentences, so you need to use, like, you have two structures, right? First way is using not with the helping verb had at the beginning of the sentence. So your structure is hadn't plus subject plus been plus V3 plus subject. And the second way is had plus subject plus not been plus V3 plus subject. Okay? Had plus subject plus not plus been plus V3 plus object. Okay? क्या उसे पहले से ही नहीं बताया गया था? Had he not already been informed? Had he not already been informed? Or hadn't he been informed earlier? क्या पेशेंट को पहले ही हॉस्पिटल नहीं ले जाया गया था? Hadn't the patient been taken to the hospital? Or had the patient not been taken to the hospital? क्या ये लेसन पहले ही नहीं पढ़ाया जा चुका था? Had this lesson not been taught earlier? Or hadn't this lesson been taught earlier? क्या मेरे पेमेंट करने से पहले ही तुमने पेमेंट नहीं की थी? Hadn't the money been paid before I paid? Or had the money not been paid before I paid? Okay, so this is all about passive formation in past perfect tense. I hope you like this video and keep practicing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video.